All right. Hello, my friends, and welcome into what is technically video 11, but to me it kind of feels like video 2 because it's really only the second time that I'm sort of inviting you into my world in this way. If you're not new around here, you'll know that the videos so far have been more polished, a little bit more removed, very information focused. But I was having a chat with my brother and he said, your life is super interesting. You should include more of it, which I kind of laughed at because I do not think of my life as interesting. I think of it as very normal and boring, probably like most people do. But as it turns out, this style of sharing is resonating more, particularly as I'm told if I take the camera myself, which I clearly need to get better at doing, but we're going to get there. And Elson, by the way, is the man behind the camera. He's the one that makes everything beautiful, including me. And if you haven't checked out his stuff yet, go and have a look at EB Capture. He's on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. We'll leave a little link somewhere here. And Elson and I said that if this message is important to us, which we really feel that it is, then we're going to deliver it in whatever way resonates best. And so if this is how it's landing best, then this is what we're going to do, no matter how many subs we have. So welcome in. I've set the boundary for myself that I'm not going to do any music study while I'm on holiday. So I'm doing some organizing and prepping now. This way, Holiday Anna knows the prep is done and can actually switch off, or try to, and post-Holiday Anna has part of the work done already. This week, I've been thinking a lot about boundaries again, and more specifically about what happens after you set one. Last week, we talked about how boundaries don't always come from dramatic conflict. Sometimes they're quiet. Sometimes it's just a deep breath, a pause, something internal that shifts. But what I didn't talk about then is what happens after you set the boundary. The part where it's done, it's communicated, and now you're sitting in the discomfort of that choice. Okay, so you've set a boundary, you've made the right decision, and you've said no to something that isn't right for you. And yet, it doesn't feel good. In fact, it might feel terrible. Anxiety, second guessing, guilt, even grief. Because the status quo has been disrupted, not just externally, but internally too. If you're used to being all things to all people, the reliable one, the helper, the good girl, then those roles give you a certain identity. And so when you step out of that role, it shakes something. So of course you're feeling wobbly. You've taken something away, not just from the people around you, but from yourself as well. Let's talk about identity for a second, because sometimes identity can get wrapped up in destructive behaviours, in patterns that burn us out, even as they feel productive. Here's a work example. A few months ago, I cancelled a big audition, and that might not sound like very much, but what you need to understand is that that's not something I've done very much in my life. I've always been a push through it kind of singer. You know, you just suck it up, you get it done, you don't complain, you believe in yourself, and you show up, even if you know that you probably shouldn't deep down. And so I've marched into battle many, many times, And sometimes that's worked out for me, and sometimes it really, really hasn't. And so I've learnt from those experiences. And this time I'd been sick, and I wasn't sick anymore, but I wasn't fully recovered either. My voice was tired, and I just knew that I wasn't going to sing my best. I just knew that this wasn't my day. And the thing is, the agent who set it up for me was really kind and understanding about it, very compassionate, exactly as you'd hope an agent would be. But I still felt awful, because it's not just about the pressure from other people, it's about the pressure we put on ourselves to be who we've always been, reliable, strong, impressive. And I cancelled the audition in the end, and I felt really good about that choice. It was a clear no for me, so I felt relief. But when the time of the audition came around, I had to distract myself. I had to go and do something else. I went out because even though I was happy with the decision I'd made, I knew I'd made the right choice. Oh, a bee. It did not feel good at all. And this is one of the things I do when I need to move through something. I walk. I walk a lot. I go to Schönbrunn, and sometimes, and I say this with full awareness, I try to jog, which is hilarious because I grew up with two siblings who were basically elite athletes. My brother was an elite competitive swimmer. My sister was a track and cross-country star. Both of them probably still hold records at their schools. And then there's me, a trash runner. That gene skipped me entirely. But still, I do it because I like how it makes me feel. And if onlookers at Schönbrunn or wherever find me amusing, then I say, you're welcome. I'm actually quite a good swimmer though, which I enjoy more. And this is part of my week too, these quiet things I do just for me. None of them are going to win me a medal anytime soon, but they bring me back into my body. And these are the practices we need when we're feeling the discomfort of things like guilt from making the choice that's right for us, but uncomfortable. Things that bring us back into our bodies. And also, sometimes when you've made the hard but right call, like cancelling something or saying no to someone or stepping out of a role, you don't just need to distract yourself. You can also treat yourself. Take yourself out for coffee, buy yourself a little pastry, watch your comfort show, light a candle. Do something kind for the part of you that was brave enough not to default to the status quo, because that's hard. And just because it was the right choice doesn't mean it was easy. So celebrate the part of you that chose yourself anyway. So that's the thing about guilt and discomfort. They don't necessarily mean that the decision was wrong, they're just part of what happens when we change. And when people don't like it, that's part of it too. You've altered a pattern, and that's destabilizing for them and for you. But when you said no, your body knew. So let yourself come back to that. Sit with the discomfort, go for a walk, move it through, and remember why you said no. So yeah, that's this week. Work, walking, highlighting, croissants, boundaries. And a little reminder, you're allowed to change, you're allowed to rest, you're allowed to say no, even if it doesn't feel great straight away. And before I go, if you've been sitting with a decision, or maybe a boundary or a version of yourself that feels ready to shift, or maybe you're someone who's already set a boundary and you're in that part that no one likes to talk about, the part that feels terrible, then this one's for you. It's normal to feel wobbly here, and it doesn't mean that you did something wrong, just that you did something new. So here are just a few questions that you might want to journal on or just hold quietly. What part of me is grieving the old pattern, even if it wasn't serving me? What am I afraid that this boundary will cost me? And is there a younger self that feels unsafe if people are unhappy with me? There's no pressure to answer all of these, just take what works for you. This is a soft invitation. And if you want more of these kinds of reflections, you can always subscribe, like, comment, or share this with someone who you think might need it. I'm glad you're here either way. And please know that I believe in you and your infinite potential to go out into the world and shine. Until next time.